All right, picture this. It's 10:47 at night. Someone just got a call that their husband was arrested. She's panicking. She goes straight to Google and types in criminal defense attorney near me. And your firm is right there at the top. She clicks. She calls. No answer. So she goes to the next result. That firm picks up. They're calm. They're helpful. They book a consult on the spot. You just paid $80 for that click, and that lead is gone. And you'll never even know it happened. That's not a marketing problem. That's an intake problem. And it's costing criminal defense attorneys sign cases every single week. Hey, I'm Dave Revere. I wrote the book on new client acquisition for defense attorneys, and I currently run 2 marketing consulting agencies, Media Tamer and Legal Tamer, and we're dominating new tech and helping law firms build systems that actually produce signed clients, not just traffic and rankings. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 places intake breaks down inside most criminal defense firms and exactly what to do about each one. You know, if you've ever felt like your marketing is working, but your caseload isn't growing the way that it should, this is probably why. Before we get into the 4 failure points, I want to reframe how you think about intake, because most attorneys think of it as an admin function. Someone answers the phone, takes a message, maybe schedules a call, back office stuff. That is the wrong frame entirely. Intake is the last mile of your entire marketing investment. Just think about everything that has to happen before a potential client calls your firm. You have to rank on Google. That costs time and money. You have to run ads. That costs a ton of money every single day. You show up on LSA. You've got reviews. You've got a website that converts. All of these investments are worthless if intake fails. Because here's the reality. The lead doesn't become a client when they click your ad. They become a client when someone at your firm handles that first contact so well that they say yes to a consultation and then actually show up. The firms that win in attorney marketing aren't always the ones with the biggest ad budgets. They're the ones with the best intake. Good intake multiplies everything upstream. Bad intake quietly destroys it. So let's talk about where it breaks down. All right, failure point number 1, speed to contact. Criminal defense leads are not like most leads. These are people in crisis. Someone just got arrested. Someone just got served. Someone is scared and they need help right now. Not tomorrow morning, not in a few hours. Research on lead response shows that contacting a lead within the first 5 minutes dramatically increases the chance of conversion. After that, the odds drop fast. And in criminal defense, that window is even tighter because the emotional urgency is higher, and your competition is 1 Google click away. What this means practically is if your firm isn't reachable after hours, you're losing leads every night and every weekend. If calls are going to voicemail and nobody follows up within minutes, those leads are gone. If your website has a contact form, but no live chat or callback option, you're creating friction at the worst possible moment. The fix isn't complicated. An after-hours answering service with a solid intake script will cover most of it. We'll talk about what that script looks like in a minute. Failure point number 2, the first 60 seconds of the call. Let's say someone does reach your firm. They call during business hours and someone picks up. The most common opening I hear when I call law firms, "Hi, Joe Schmo Law Offices, please hold." Oh my gosh, that is such a conversation killer. Remember who's on the other end of the call. This person is scared, they might be embarrassed, and they are definitely stressed. So the first 60 seconds of that call sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. If the first thing they experience is being put on hold, or a flat robotic greeting, or someone who sounds like they're processing paperwork, you've already lost ground. Your intake staff's first job is not to gather information. Their first job is to make the caller feel heard. That means the opening matters. Something as simple as, "Thank you for calling Winning Law Offices. I understand you may be dealing with something really stressful right now. My name is Jane and I'm here to help." That's it. It might sound cheesy, but that sets a completely different tone. Train your intake staff on this. It's not a script, it's an approach. Empathy first, then process. Okay, failure point number 3, no qualification framework. Here's the other side of the problem. Not every caller is a fit for your firm. And without a basic qualification process, one of two things happens. Either your intake staff tries to be helpful to everyone and passes unqualified leads to the attorney, wasting everyone's time, or they get overly cautious and accidentally screen out good leads because they don't know what to look for. Simple qualification framework fixes both. For defense firms, that's usually 5 questions. What's the charge or situation? What jurisdiction? Has an arrest been made, or is this pre-charge? Have they spoken to another attorney? And what's driving the urgency? Meaning, is there a court date coming up? That's it. Those 5 questions tell you whether this is a real prospect, what the timeline looks like, and how to route the call. Your intake staff doesn't need to know the law. They just need to know what information matters. Build that into a form in your CRM. Make it standard. All right, now here's failure point number 4, no clear next step. This is the one that silently kills the most leads. The call goes fine. The caller gets their questions answered. The intake person is polite and helpful. And then the call ends with something like, I'll have the attorney give you a call back. And then nothing happens. Or the callback happens 6 hours later. Or the client calls 3 other firms in the meantime and signs with one of them. If a call ends without a booked consultation, that lead is at serious risk. The goal of every intake call is to end with a consultation that's scheduled on the calendar. It's confirmed with a reminder going out automatically. That means your intake staff needs the authority and the tools to book consults on the spot. No waiting for the attorney. No, I'll check back and call you later. And the moment a consult is booked, an automated confirmation text and email should go out immediately. Not because it's fancy, because it reduces no-shows and it signals that your firm is organized and professional. And that matters. I don't want this to feel overwhelming because it doesn't have to be. Here are 3 things any criminal defense firm can implement this week. First, set up an after-hours answering service with a solid script. There are legal-specific services that will handle this at an affordable price. Give them your 5 qualifying questions and a clear instruction. The goal is to book next day consult, not just take a message. Next, build a basic intake form in your CRM. 5 fields: charge or situation, jurisdiction, arrest status, prior attorney, upcoming court date. Every call gets logged, no exceptions. This also gives you data over time. You'll start seeing patterns in where leads fall off. Okay, number 3, set up automatic confirmation messages the moment a consult is booked. A text and an email. Include the date, time, who they're meeting with, and what to bring or expect. This one change alone will reduce no-shows significantly. None of these require a big technology investment. They require a decision and an hour of setup. Here's the thing about intake. Most firms don't realize how much it's costing them until they actually audit it, because the leads that fall through don't show up as a line item anywhere. They just disappear quietly. If you're running ads or investing in SEO and your caseload isn't growing the way it should, intake is the first place that I'd look. If you want to know exactly where your intake is breaking down, that's one of the first things we walk through together. The link to book a call is in the description. Hey, I truly hope this was useful. If it was, go subscribe now so you don't miss the next one. I put out straight talk marketing content specifically for defense firms each week. No fluff, no gimmicks, just what actually works and is proven to help grow law firms. I'll see you in the next one.